hard-working students. This is Roxana again. If you haven't been on my channel before, I am a UK trained and UK based maths teacher. I usually teach secondary, and I am preparing these lessons for you, for all of you out there who don't have a maths teacher or need a tutor or have a cover teacher and need someone to deliver a full lesson. So today's lesson is about angles in triangles, and specifically interior angles in triangles. We're going to be looking at how much they add up to and why, and then we're going to do some practice questions. As usual, the first activity has nothing to do with this lesson. It's just something nice and fun to get to warm up and enjoy the lesson. Okay, so pause the video and have a look at this and think about how do you expect this shape to look when you see it from the top. And I'm back. Let's get a pen. So the correct answer here should be, if we look at these lines, the blue and the green are opposite each other. So if you look from the top, they shouldn't be next to each other. They should be like on a straight line, the blue and the green. So blue and green, these are not blue and green. They're actually next to each other, which doesn't work. And here the blue and the green are also next to each other. Right, let's see what happens here. So the blue and the green are opposite each other either way, but the blue has on its left has the pink and on its right has the yellow. And then we have a green here and a green. So I think it's this one. So I hope you enjoyed it. This is really fun. I have plenty more of these for our next lessons, and they get harder and harder. Okay, so let's get into the lesson now. And this is the demonstration. Basically, here, because we're not in a classroom, it's actually hard for me to physically demonstrate this to you, but you can do it still. So if you can cut out the corner of a piece of paper, it's going to be in the shape of a triangle. Yeah, so imagine you have, if you cut a straight corner of an A4 paper, and then you have to, you can do it with your hand without the scissor. Actually, if you do it without scissors, is even easier to do this activity. If you cut it straight, you're not going to remember which one of the corners belonged to the actual triangle. Okay, so this is basically what you see here. So you take this corner, yeah, you cut it, now you don't have this one anymore. And what you need to do here, you break out a piece with your hands. I want you to see like the lines here. I don't want it to be straight, because if it's straight, it's hard to match up. Okay, and then you rip out another corner from here, and then you rip out another corner from here. Okay, you rip all three corners, and when you put them together, they're gonna look like this. Yeah, they're gonna look just like this. So they're gonna form a straight line here, and angles on a straight line, they add up to 180 degrees. And that's basically the demonstration why and how the angles inside a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Okay, with this piece of knowledge, you're going to be able to calculate interior angles in a quadrilateral, which is any shape that has four sides, and you're also going to be able to find interior angles of a polygon, any polygon, if you know this. Okay, so let's move on to the first activity. So I'm going to demonstrate the first one for you, and then we're gonna pause the video and you're gonna be working on this on your own, and then I'll give you the answers, because these are very easy. So I have plenty of activities and they get harder and harder. So this is the easiest activity you're gonna have today. So based on your level, I'm not saying I expect you to do all of them, because if you're in year 5 or 6 or 7, or even a lower year 8, you can do the first two activities. You can do the starter and activity 1 and then activity 2. But if you are towards GCSE, you're also going to need to know this lesson, and you can do activity 1, you can just do one example. Then you can move on and do the whole activity 2 and 3 and so on, okay? So you don't always have to do everything from here. Just choose your level. Okay, so next. First question, I'm going to show you how to work this out. So basically, when we said that angles inside the triangle add up to 180, it means that x plus 80 plus 60 add up to 180 degrees. I'm going to change the pen because I'm not really sure it's very visible. X plus, and we add these two together, that's 140 degrees, gives me 180 degrees. Okay, which means we have to do, basically we do 180 degrees minus these two added together. Yeah, so we add these two together, we take them away from 180. So that's 140, and if you take them away, that gives you 40 degrees. It means x equals 40 degrees. Okay? And for the next one, the same thing. First you do 75 plus 80, and that gives you 5 and 155. And second step is you do 180 minus 155, and that's how you do this. You get 5 here, you get this one, you took one, so it's 2, and it's 25 degrees. Okay, so this x is 25 degrees. So right now, pause the video and do your own work. Make sure when you write on your sheet of paper or your book, if you have a book, that you should have a book, because you can watch these videos every day and they are in order, they're connected to each other, so you can improve your maths like that. Okay, so for A, you can write A and x equals 40 degrees. Don't be lazy, do your work, and show all the working out, because like that you can also find your mistake, because it's normal to make a mistake. What is not normal is to just write an answer and have no idea where you went wrong. Okay, and then here you say x equals 25 degrees. And if you write like that to all of them, then when I give you the answers, you're going to see exactly which one, and you just mark them. Okay, so pause the video and do the work. Okay, and now I'm gonna give you the answers. Hope you knew how to do this. There's nothing tricky here. The only difference might be here where you see this symbol, and we know this symbol means 90 degrees. Okay, so you do 90 plus 27, you take away that from 180, and the same thing happens here. Yeah, this square means this is a right angle triangle, so this angle is 90. Other than that, it shouldn't have been any problem working on this. There are no decimals, there's nothing else, just the same over and over again. And this is going to help you remember the formula. Okay, here are the answers. There we go, mark them, and we move on soon. Okay, and now activity 2. Activity 2. So this one, you have to have some knowledge of what these symbols mean. When you have two lines that look the same on two sides, it means that the lines are equal. You could also have them like that. See, if there's two lines here and two lines here, it also means they're equal. As long as the symbol is the same on both sides, it means the sides are equal. Now, if those sides are equal, it means this triangle is called isosceles. Okay, and one property besides the equal sides, one property of the isosceles triangle is that it has the angles at the base equal to each other. Oops, sorry, if they're equal they have to be 35. Yeah, so if this is 35, it means this has to be 35 as well. Okay, now if we know that, what we need to do now is exactly the same thing we've done before. We do 35 plus 35, that gives me 70 degrees, and then I take away from my 180 degrees, and I'm left with 110, and that's the value of my x, okay? Now, if you have something like, let me find something trickier. Okay, here. If you have this angle missing and this angle missing here, see, you don't have a letter on this one, but you kind of have a similar scenario to here. You have this line and you have this line, which means these two lines are equal, which means the triangle is an isosceles triangle. Okay, and in this case, the same two angles are equal. Even though we're not given this one anymore and we're given the top one, this angle is only equal to this one, is not equal to this. Okay, so only the angles at the base are equal, which means that in this case we have to do 180 degrees minus this, and that's a 6 and that's a 5. Yeah, 7 minus 2, 5, and the 1, so that's 150 degrees, and the 150 degrees is these two angles together. So to find out how much one of them is, you have to half this number. Okay, so then you do 155 degrees divided by 2, which is half of 15 is 7 and the remainder of 1, and then half of 16 is 8. So one angle is 78 degrees. And one is 78 degrees. And here's something I forgot to show you. If you ever have this in a non-calculator paper and you have time left at the end of your exam, you can check your work. How do you do that? You have to add up all the angles and see if you got the correct answer, if you got 180 degrees. So for example, if you go back here, you could have done 80 plus 60 plus 40, and if that gives you 180 degrees, it means you've done it right. Okay, and in this case, we do 35 plus 35 plus 70 degree, plus 110 degrees, and that should give me 180 degrees. Okay, that's how you check your work. And in this case, you can do 78 plus 78 plus 24. That should give you 180. Okay, so right now, pause the video, do the rest of the work. I'm gonna give you a few minutes and then I'll show you the answers. Okay, and we're back. Let's see the answers. Activity 2, here are the answers. These are the ones I've done, 75, 110, and these are the other ones. Let me see. So you've done up to F. So you shouldn't even have this row here because we haven't done that. If you want to do more work, there's plenty more questions on this topic, and also you have the answers. I'm gonna put the worksheet in the description of the video so you can actually look at the whole sheet, because for example, question 2 that I screenshotted, it had 3 more questions and the previous one as well, but my goal is to show you how to do them and give you a chance to do a little bit of everything. Okay, don't want you to just run out of fuel after question 1 because you had to do 9 questions that are the same. Okay, but if you feel like you need to do more work on this activity and you were not sure that you've got it right, you can just go to the worksheet and do more of that work. Okay, if for example, if the next activity is too hard for you and you think this is the level that you need to stay at, and this is where you have to keep working. So how do you find which one is your level? Basically, if you have an activity like this, if you got 1 or 2 questions wrong, it means you have to do a bit more practice on this, okay? And if the next activity doesn't really make sense to you, it's okay. You don't have to know this right now. You have plenty of time to do it. And the more work you do, the easier this is going to get. So let's see. Activity 3. Activity 3 is also including exterior angles. And right now, what you need to know, besides the fact that interior angles in a triangle add up to 180, you also have to know that angles on a straight line add up to 180 as well, okay? These are 180 degrees as well, angles on a straight line. So here, for example, you see how this is a straight line here, okay? This is a straight line. So if that's a straight line, hold on, maybe I need another color here. I'm gonna get a purple. If this is a straight line, it means this angle from here, you can find it if you take away the 125 from 180. So you do 180 degrees, which is this. Take away 125 degrees. That leaves you with 5 here and 5 here and nothing. So this angle here should be 55 degrees. Now, if this is 55 degrees, that's not really nice handwriting. If this is 55 degrees, then you have to do what we've done in the previous 2 activities. Now you take 80, you plus 55, because we know these 3 together give you 180 as well. Okay, so that's 5 and that is 13. That should work, isn't it? Yeah, 135 degrees. So these 2 together are 185. Okay, and then we do 180, take away 135, and that should give me 5 and 5 here and nothing left here. Hold on, this is not 5, this is 4, because I borrowed one from here, so I have 7 left. So this is 45 degrees. Okay, so basically this angle here should be 45 degrees, and the way you can check that is by adding these 3 values together. Okay, I also want you to know that there's another theorem which states that the exterior angle, let me change the pen, the exterior angle equals the sum of the other 2 angles from here. I'm not sure if you want to use that when you do the next questions, or you just want to do what I just showed you. Okay, this is one more thing to memorize. But if you don't remember this and you just remember the sums of the angles and you see the straight line, you're still going to be able to find the missing side. Okay, so basically what it says here is that this angle here is the same with these 2. Yeah, so you could use that, or you could do the same as here. Okay, so let me show you. What should I show you? I'll show you what I've done here. I'm gonna do it again because I don't want to confuse you. So if this angle here is 180 altogether, now we're gonna do the other way. We know this is 90, we know this is 68, we need to find out this one here. Okay, so that one is going to be 68 plus 90, which is 158 degrees. Then we take away from 180 degrees and we do 158, so we find this angle. 8, that's an 8, and that's 2, and 7, that's a 2, and that's nothing. So this is 22 degrees. Now if this is 22 degrees, it means the other one should be 180 minus 22, which is 8, and this is 7, that's 5 and 1. 158 degrees. Okay, you can also see that is 158 degrees. Yeah, so x is 158 degrees. X is also 158 degrees because x equals this angle plus this angle. So if you do 90 plus 68, you also get 158 straight away. But if you forget this, then you can do the longer way that I just showed you now. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna pause the video, but this is a bit different here, so maybe we should, how about we pause the video a bit and you try to do this work on your own, and then I'm gonna have a look at this and explain it to you. I'm not gonna do all the working out to you after that. I'm gonna quickly explain to you how they got to the answer, okay? So pause the video and try to do it on your book, in your book. Okay, ready? And I'm back. So this is actually more advanced. This is called mathematical reasoning, and usually you need this towards GCSE. Maybe if you're like a higher year 8 higher level, or year 9 in a top set, or maybe, you know, towards, if you're doing a foundation GCSE, this would be useful as well. Okay, so here in this one, I would go like this. I would see how much, so this is, I would find this one first. So I would take away from 180, I would take away this, and that should leave me with 79, I think. No, with 69. 69. So yeah, 69. Okay, so that would leave me with 69. Then I would do 69 plus 74, and then I take away that from 180 to find this one. Okay, so we do 69 plus 74, and that is 3, and that should be 143. And we do 143, take away from 180. Okay, 37 degrees. This is 37. If this is 37, we know these two together give me 180. So you can do that. You can take away from 180. Or you could have skipped this step and just added these two together to find this one. But since I already started, I'm gonna do 180 here. Yeah, 180 minus 37 to find out how much x is. 37, and that's a 3, and that's a 4, and a 1. 143, see? So these two added together give you 143 degrees. That is your x. Okay, so here, let's see how we would do. I'm just going to discuss this. I'm not going to do all of them because I don't really have the space. Okay, so I can find this angle here. Once I find this one, I'm going to say that is the same with this. And then if you add this with that and take away from 180, that is how you find this one. Okay, so you do 180. Take away 123, and you find the size of this. Then you double it, and you take away from 180 again. Okay, let's see here. Now here is more interesting. This is 100. This is 360 degrees because it's angles around the point. Basically, here you have two angles of 180. So if you look here, if you do 180 here and you have 180 from here, yeah, this is a full circle, and that is 360 degrees. So basically here, this is a full circle of 360, and they're telling you that this little red thing, which is actually is not little, is big, that is 318. it means that the remaining thing until 360, you can find it if you do 360 take away 318. Okay, and once you find this one, you can take it away from 180 degrees to find out how much these two add up together. Let's see, how much would this little one be? This is 1 and 4, 41 degrees. So this is 41 degrees, and then you do 180 minus 41 degrees. Yeah, so I took away this to see how much these two added together are. 9, 3, 139. So that's how much they add up to. So it means if I half them, half of 13 is 6 and half of 19 is 9.5. So one of these angles is 69.5. Yeah, the other one is also 69.5. If I add them together and I add the 41, I should get 180 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and let's see here, what can we use here? So this side is equal to this side. It means this angle here is going to be the same with this one. Okay, which means that, which one we need to find? Oh, we only need to find this one. Okay, so we can find this one by, okay, I'm gonna quickly delete the board because I don't have any more space to write, and this needs a bit more space. Okay, so in case there's anything else, you can pause the video now and have a look before it goes away. Okay, so we said we need this one, and we said that equals to this. So what I need to do first, I look at this triangle here and I say these two together are gonna give me 180 minus 50. Okay, and that gives me 130 degrees. And if I divide 130 degrees by 2 to find out how much one of these angles is, I'm gonna get 130 divided by 2 is 65 degrees. Okay, so this is 65 degrees. And now what I need to do is look in the big triangle and say, in the big triangle, yeah, in this one here, I have 3 angles. One is this one is this one, and one is this one. Here I only have half of it, so I can't really do much. But I can find out how much the whole thing is here if I add these two together and then I take them away from 180 degrees. Okay? So I do 50 degrees plus 31 gives me 81 degrees, and then I do 180 minus 81 degrees should give me 99 degrees. So it means this is 99 degrees. Now I know this little bit here is 65, so if I do 99 degrees minus the 65, I can find out how much this little piece here is. Let me do that with yellow so you can see exactly this one. So that's the one I need to find because that's what x is. Okay, so that is 4 and 3, 34 degrees. So that's how we find out that x is 34 degrees, and that's what we were asked to find out, how much x is. Okay, so I'm gonna give the answers. I don't think you need them. In case I did something wrong, I might have gone wrong on some calculations. If I did, what you need to take out of this is the reasoning, not necessarily the working out. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. Let's see, you have them all the way to I. No, last question is F. Where's F? Yes, F. Did I get? Yeah, 34. Okay, I've done this right. So basically you don't need this row here, okay? that is the extra questions. If you want to do more questions like this, then look in the description and you have the worksheet. It's in PDF format. You can even print it and you can do the scribbling and the doodling on the sheet. It actually helps, especially if you're a visual learner. You can rationalize so much easier if you can actually write the measurements on the actual triangles. Okay, and the last activity, let's see. My favorite. So the plenary of this lesson is actually algebra. Okay, so if you want to do this on your own, pause the video and try to do it on your own, and I'm gonna show you in a bit how to do it. Okay, let's see. If you're not ready, pause the video some more. I'm gonna show you how to do it. So we know that these three add together to give you 180. Okay, so let's add them together. X plus 10. I like to line up one under the other the like terms. This is connected to collecting like terms. Okay, and I'm gonna add them. Okay, how many x's do you see there? You see 3 here, 4, 5. You have 5 x's. Okay, I'm gonna add them. 5 x's and the 10. Okay, and we know this gives you 180 degrees. This is a lovely GCSE question, or even if you're like really good at math, you can do it before that. Okay, so this is a simple equation to solve. To be honest, the trickiest part of this is just thinking about how to arrange this. Once you got here, this is the easy part. The hardest part is, first of all, you look at the question, you probably freak out because you don't know what's with all of these letters and what you're supposed to do with them and how you find x when you have it in so many places. Then you try a few things or you just give up straight away. Okay, but when you have so many x's, that's good. It should be scarier if you have other letters as well. If you only have one letter, it means you just have a simple equation, right? So let's do this. Now, 5x's plus 10 are 180 degrees. It means 5x's, if we take away the 10s from this side and from this side, yeah, I'm going to take away 10 from here. I'm going to take away 10 from here as well. The 5x's are going to be 170 degrees, okay? Which means now the x is multiplied by 5. If I want to find out x on its own, I have to divide by 5. Okay, so I'm going to divide this by 5, and I'm going to also have to do the same here. So x is 170 divided by 5, which gives me 5 goes into 15 3 times, and the remainder of 2. And 5 goes into 20 4 times. Okay, now it says find the size of each angle. So what most of you would do at this point would do like a little dance because you found the right answer, and then you would probably move on to the next question, but you're not done yet. This is 34 degrees, but you only actually just found out this angle here, isn't it? Yeah, so that's 34 degrees. But then you have to see how much is this one then? Well, that is 34 plus 10, so that's 44 degrees. Okay, and this one is 34 times 3. 3 times 4, 12. 3 times 3, 9 plus 1, 10. So it's 102. 102. And you're not done yet. If you've done this, you have now to check if you've done it right. So you take this, you add it with this, and you add it with this. You have to see if it gives you 180 degrees. So 44 plus 34 degrees plus 102 degrees. 4 plus 4, 8 plus 2, 10. We carry 1, 8. And there you go. Now you can go home happily or move on to whatever you want to do because you have the proof. This is the proof that you have done this question correctly. Okay, so this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And I am looking forward to seeing you in the next lesson to teach you more things. And bye for now.